We've been following this trade story out of Washington, specifically the latest tariffs coming down $50 billion worth. I'm looking at what the USTR is saying here. You know, it seems like the concern, at the core of this is China's advancement in tech. And I know there's still a public hearing, there's a waiting period here, but do you think this is just saber rattling on the U.S. side, or is there a significant downside risk given that China is likely to retaliate? Because what the U.S. is asking here for, in terms of opening up the markets, is not something China is likely to move anytime soon, right?
Our perception at Conning would be that the US is seeking a rebalancing of the relationship rather than trying to rip it up. So what that means is trying to say to China there are some anti-competitive practices in terms of market access, procurement of technological IP, as well as unfair support for industries and companies operating in overseas markets. The US is seeking a neutralisation of that situation without necessarily saying to China we're going to be a hostile economic partner towards you. But I think in terms of where we go from here, it's just as contingent upon China's response as it is US's initial actions. And I think China's statement overnight is quite interesting. The word I would focus on is equal. So I think China's approach here is to say that it's no shrinking violet. It wants proportionate responses here, but it has no intention of escalating the situation by itself. But it serves as a warning to the US that they want a constructive economic engagement.
It has no intention of escalating it, but the specific issues that US is raising is at the core of China's growth, is it not? I mean, when you talk about the U.S. talking about, you know, how these policies, whether it's the IP transfers, tech transfers, is meant to bolster the economic leadership of China as it relates to Made in China 2025. I mean, that seems to be at the core of where China wants to move its growth. Are they likely to give any concessions on that front?
Well, I think long-term, China's fortunes will be based upon becoming more of a value-added, consumer-oriented economy rather than being an FAI, a fixed asset investment-oriented economy, an export-led economy. And so from that, you need effectively getting up the quality chain, being able to develop your own technology. And some of that will require partnerships with overseas companies that can transfer that technology, either legally or through other means. So ultimately, China has its own path longer term, which is made clear in Made in China 2025, but also through other policy directives as well. And I think that the US is trying to match that long-term ambition to say that that's fine so long as the US is not a victim from that process.